Welcome to another episode of Follow the Brand TV. I am your host, Grant McGaugh, CEO of 5-Star BDM, a 5-star personal brand and business development company. I want to take you on a journey through another deep dive into the world of personal branding and business development using compelling personal stories, business conversations, and tips to improve your brand. By listening to the Follow the Brand TV series, you will differentiate yourself from the competition and build trust with prospective clients and employers. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Make it one that will set you apart, build confidence, and reflect who you are. Building your 5-star personal brand is a great way to improve your skills and knowledge. If you have any questions for me or any of my guests, please email me at grant.mcgaugh@5starbdm.com. Now, let's begin with our next episode on the Follow the Brand TV.
Five-Star BDM, Brand Development Masters, is a professional consulting and advisory group keenly focused on business development services for the small to mid-sized business and entrepreneurs. Although every business is unique, they often share business development challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. Services include process improvement and operations, digital strategy and transformation, business intelligence, digital marketing, and personal branding. Our business and personal branding company has helped a number of professionals and organizations to optimize and grow. This results in more business, more opportunities, better reach, positive outcomes. Visit www.5starbdm.com today to learn more.
Are blue links on their way out? AI-driven answer engines now decide which brands get seen first. If your business isn't telling the complete story, someone else might fill in the gaps. Reviews, schema, and detailed content all matter more than ever. Want to boost your visibility in AI search results? Tune in to this episode for the one move every business should make this week. Follow the Brand Podcast and listen now.
This is your first experience with the Follow Brand Podcast. Now you've gone through the interview process with me as the host. How did you like this interview?
The quality of the questions that you asked were fantastic. So this for me was a really stimulating conversation. I enjoyed it, and I learned a little bit more after speaking with you. So I think those are the it was fun, it was informative, it was challenging.
Welcome, everybody, to the Follow Brand Podcast. This is your host, Grant McGaugh. We're going to talk about a very interesting subject today. A lot of people have heard of SEO, search engine optimization. So when you're creating certain content, you want to make sure it's SEO ready, so it's searchable, so people find it. You want to be top of the feed, like in search engines like Google, Bing, and the like. But things have now changed with AI, that's just overtaking a lot of different things, right? A lot of people are going to a ChatGPT, a Perplexity, a Gemini, a Claude, and the like first before they're going to Google. So how do you now rank in that kind of setting? We're going to ask these kind of questions to Kevin Roy, who is a visionary in this field. He's very innovative. I want to get him up to the stage right now so we can talk about this, because this is important information. So Kevin, you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Kevin Roy, Green Banana SEO. It's our 17th year now doing search engine optimization, and we have a full-on answer engine optimization process and protocol that I'm just excited to talk about.
Well, we got to talk about it, because now you said 17 years. And you've been and I figure you've been ahead of the curve when it comes to performance-based SEO, search engine optimization. But what I want to know is what inspired you to break away from traditional models and then, this is important, guarantee results?
So We'll start with, we never guarantee results. We guarantee that if we get you ranked, you pay. If we don't get you ranked, you don't pay. Right.
Got it.
So that's the, if you, when clients call and say, I absolutely have to be on page one next week and this keyword, I'm like, great, we have a Google AdWords program for that. So, how I got into it, so we had been doing SEO like everybody else, which is time and materials. We're writing good content, building good links. It's changed a lot in the last, 16, 17 years. But we were doing it for about 2 years, and we we still have, but this one of our clients, we had a larger client, and I had to go in and present to the boardroom, all of the stuff that we've been doing, and I had spent all night crafting this, what I thought was absolutely spectacular pamphlet of data of all the stuff that we're doing, all the stuff that we have been doing for them, and handed it out to everybody. And I'm not kidding. I spent literally all night. I remember I had gone to Staples, and I was collating things at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I brought it into them and showed it to them, and they looked at me and said, "So what are we paying you for again?" Right? And I realized that when you're talking about late semantic indexing, schema, metadata, keyword quality, content, linking, to a room of exceptionally intelligent executives, they don't, it's all white noise.
Right.
So in the middle of the meeting, I said, how about this? I know I can rank you for these keyword phrases. I get you on page one for these, you pay me. If I don't get you on page one, you don't pay me, but I'm never doing this report again because I spent all night building this report. And they're like, great, let's do it. And I came back and said to the team, I either made a massive mistake or I think we have a great model. And so that's really what did it, because if you're following the rules that Google puts out and doing things that are generating quality content and generating high quality links that are pointing back to the page, and following some the the solid SEO principles, you're going to rank. It takes a while, but you're going to rank for those keyword phrases. I know that save a, if someone came in and said, hey, I have a brand new dating site, I want to outrank Match.com, by the end of the year, we're going to say, well, Match.com has, 4 million links and you have 0, so it's going to take us a while. We're not going to get you on page one overnight.
Very important to understand and set expectations early and understand what you're doing. Big risk, but yet you have the confidence of knowing what you're doing. And you can take it to the next level. And we're going to get paid because we know we can make this happen. We're going to make it done. Now, you've also said that traditional SEO isn't enough anymore. So I would like you to, because this is the big elephant in the room right now. We know you've mastered, you understand the Google algorithm, you understand where you're at and all the rankings that are there, what it takes to get on that first page, those first 10 blue links or whatever it may be is very important, because that's where you want to, your ad spend, people are going to, you get eyeballs onto what you're doing in the right audience. Now, can you explain what LLM SEO, that's large language model SEO, is, and how it transforms the way businesses should now think about visibility?
That's a great question. I think I would start by saying that as of June, 60% of Google's 405 billion searches a month, so about 260 billion searches a month, are now 0-click searches. So what that means is that they're getting the answer and not having to click on anything.
Yeah.
So we're seeing in your, like everyone that's listening to this is probably seeing a drop in some of their organic traffic. So even if they're on page one, number one for something, then they're seeing, even if you're popping in the answer engines, you're seeing a little bit of a drop, but you might be getting more direct traffic or more calls or more mentions. So it's important that you pop up in the top of a Grok or a Chat or a Gemini or a Claude search. Those engines are looking for different things but to kind of assuage everybody, um, we're finding that if you're following the proper principles of generating good content and having high quality matching links that go to the page that you're trying to rank, those people seem to be doing a lot better in the answer engines than people that haven't done that. There are things the answer engines are looking for, like schema or markup language. I guess for people that don't know what that is, you Google Taylor Swift tickets and the ticket prices and the venues are going to come up in the search bar, right?
Yeah.
Right in the search.
Yeah.
That is markup language that's on your page. The user can't really see that part of it, but the Google is pulling that out and sticking it up in the SERP or the search result. So what we're finding is that the answer engines seem to be looking at that faster, having more access to it, or maybe they're just more comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pulling information from there. So we're spending more time making sure that we have quality content and quality questions and answers in the schema as well as on the page.
Oh. Q&A. So question and answer, because you said something, I like how you frame that. Because we were talking about this earlier. What do you call this now? LLM SEO. You said answer engine. So you look at an LLM as an answer engine. It's responsive and it's going, and to your point, when you let's say even you Google something, the first thing that pops up is something probably straight out of Gemini, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it creates your eyes. You're probably going to go read through that, and either you're mentioned as a source, or now do you have a clickable link in that little box up there? Because people may not be
Yeah.
scrolling down.
Yep. You do have a clickable link in the box if Gemini and Chat and Claude they decide to show that link. I know that Google has Google has actually outpaced now ChatGPT in how in the complexity and the thoroughness of Gemini, and it's probably because they don't want to lose their revenue for search. And so
Mhm.
now inside of Google AdWords, you can actually pay and sponsor and be in those top pieces with your link. That's rolled out a couple months ago and it's becoming more and more popular. But I think so one of my favorite quotes when you asked about questions and answers and why
Yeah.
that's important, one of the favorite quotes that I've heard this year is that the large language models were built by linguists, not developers.
Mm.
So the
Mm.
developers are powering it up, right? Using things and creating agents um, but the linguists created the large language models. So that's conversational. It's asking a question, answering a question. It's not best pizza Boston anymore. It's where can I get the most delicious deep dish pepperoni pizza in Boston? And
Mhm.
it's going to go out and try to answer that question for you.
This is important understanding, because what I heard there, and a lot of people I know they're tuning in, they're leaning in right now, because this is hot. And you need to understand your ad dollars or where you want to position your business to get the most amount of opportunities out of your efforts. So you mentioned something like, how do businesses actually get their brand mentioned in, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or
Mhm.
a Gemini, because this is important. And you also stated Google does not want to lose their ad spend, because that's a huge revenue source for them. So is there a way to reverse engineer that so that you're in both locations?
Yes. So there are tools. There's a tool that we use called I don't get any I have no affiliation with this company. I just think it's a great tool. I don't love the name. I shouldn't say that, but it's wakeai.io. And what that does is you can put your company in, you can put your top two competitors in, and it will tell you, hey, Chat, Claude, Perplexity, Sonar, Gemini are looking for this type of content to answer questions about your brand that they're
Mhm.
finding on your competitor's site but not finding on yours.
Ah.
So, for example, we have a really large client that doesn't spend a lot of time talking about pricing on their website, and the language models to create a story about their company are looking for pricing and they're not seeing it, and their competitors are addressing that. So when what we're seeing is that like Chat, Perplexity, Claude, Sonar, Gemini are trying to create a complete story about you so they can answer the question. So they're trying to get as much detailed information about your product or your service, um, so that they can create a story to give proper input back to the user.
What you
So
said
yeah,
so important there. Story versus just information. That's what I got out of that. Like when you do a Google search, well, you're really just getting information or potential information. It's not really story-like, right? It's just information. It's links. It's there. If it captures your, like that one sentence hook that captures your attention, and then you click on it, like I said, non-clickable links. You just said that. You go to that first box that you're seeing, and then it's story-like. Well, people love stories, right?
right, right,
If it's and you know how the algorithm is working, it wants a complete story. It wants a good story
right.
within that, probably like a paragraph or two,
Hmm.
maybe, and it's there. And then you want your company to show up there, obviously, because that's where the eyeballs are. Because if people, again, aren't scrolling down as much, you've got to have the information right there. So many leaders, I think, still think that ranking on Google is the ultimate finish line. My question to you is, what are they missing about where search is really headed in the AI era?
So search from everything that I spend a significant amount of time every week keeping up with the AI trends. I'm also really fortunate enough to be part of a SEO mastermind group, and we're always sharing information when we meet once a week.
Mhm.
What we're the general consensus is that Google is going to keep their location or their GBP information because they do really well with that. They're making a lot of money of that. On that, they may actually get rid of the links at the bottom of the page.
Mm,
So that is a cause for a lot of debate to whether they're going to get rid of that and then pop the information just in the answer engine up top. So
wow.
that's something that people have to think about and say, hey, I really want to make sure that that my brand is strong and that I'm creating a complete story about my service or my brand, so that these answer engines are getting all the information about me. So one of my favorite analogies is the peanut butter and jelly
Yeah.
analogy. So imagine if you and I want to rank for the how to make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We're going to create a comprehensive page about how to make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But then we're going to create a page about bread, a page about jelly, and a page about peanut butter. And
Hmm.
on our bread page, we're going to go and say, here's how to make the best bread, and here's where to get the best high quality flour, and here's where to get the best eggs, to go in and make that bread. So we're going to tell this story that creates a complete picture for, you know what? This really is the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I know absolutely everything there is to know about how to make one.
This is important. Now, let me ask you, now how's that different from traditional SEO, where you're making sure you have the right words, the right, phrasing? Is it similar or different?
It's actually similar. So one of the methodologies that we use is we go and look at everybody that's on page one for a specific keyword phrase and look at the content that they all have that's similar. The keywords that are so when Google is looking at a page, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, for example, in order to tell a story about peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it needs to see the word bread, it needs to see butter knife, it needs to see crust, it
Mhm.
needs to see oven. It needs to see the word spread, right? So it's trying to formulate like why is this the most important page for this specific keyword phrase. So we extract all of those keywords that are mentioned the most frequently and then build a page using that. We call it a
Yeah.
recipe of the keywords to write our content. We find that the language models are looking for the same thing, but it's because they're trying to complete the story. They're trying to get an entire story on that specific piece of content. So a lot of times if you're building your pages that way, you're probably in a really good spot. What's not going to work is if you're just over repeating a keyword phrase on a
Okay.
page, which actually still works to rank for, but it's not telling a story. It's not giving the person enough information. Um, if you want to go down the rabbit hole on this, I think an important thing to think about isn't just um, getting people to the page, but getting them to convert.
Yes.
And that's where you want to have that. So those digestible bites, the really important information up top, then you can dump all the FAQs and all the keyword density down in the bottom of it. And the language models fortuitously like those. So a lot of the pages that we've been building, I think we might have just gotten lucky, and and they're looking at a lot of the
Well,
same
you're on the
things,
right
right?
track.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it flowed there. But I like how you just said, because there's a model that's out there, right? Especially in sales, we all understand it. Usually, you're creating awareness about your program, right? And then you get consideration for your if they're in the market to buy, and then you
Hmm.
convert. So
Yeah,
understanding that conversion model, I think, is so important because that ultimately that's what you want as a business. You're
right.
spending the especially if you're doing paid advertisement. Maybe you have some organic traffic, but ultimately you want them to convert, either pick up the phone, get you
Yeah,
an opportunity to present your product or service. I think that's important. Here's
100%.
my question for you. And in my case, I am a small business. And if I am a small business owner and I'm listening to me and you right now, what's the one action, the one thing that I could do this week to improve my visibility in AI driven search?
Okay, if you're a small business and if you're a service business, I haven't addressed this yet, but you need to focus on reviews and answering, responding to your reviews with a, if you're a location-based business, with a location and your service-based or your product-based keyword. So to the best of my knowledge, Google gives as much credit for a review as a review reply.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to sound corny, but Grant, I'm really happy that you were excited about our kitchen remodel in Minneapolis. Next time you're looking for someone to upgrade your kitchen, or please think of us again. We've
Uh-huh.
enjoyed working with you. So I'm putting a keyword phrase and I'm putting a location in the response. When
Yes.
people say that sounds really corny, I say, do you want to make money or do you want to bite to be okay being corny? Right?
Well, to your point is that there's machine language and there's human language in a conversational style. What is the machine? Because ultimately, you want
Yeah,
the platform to amplify your message. You
right.
want to amplify yourself within your target audience so that they see it. And I love, the advice you just gave is awesome because a lot of people don't realize, well, how do you, you may be ranking on Google, you're there, but are you optimized on the platform so that it's showing it to as many eyeballs that it can to get you to a point like you said. If I'm looking for the best peanut butter and jelly service provider in my area, you need to be there. And like you
Right.
said, your story needs to be there. It's not just okay, yeah, they provide it, but then you go into depth about it, and then it makes me want to go buy it. I'm going to go drive over there or order it or have it sent to me or whatever it may be. It's going to convert. I think
Mhm.
that's so important. Now, here's the question. What mistakes do most agencies make when it comes to AI search optimization? And how can business owners protect themselves from empty promises?
So I don't know what mistakes that they're making because I'm really not paying any attention to looking at what competitors are doing because we're just trying to produce the best results for
Yeah.
our customers. But using a tool that can talk about how many times you're cited in an AI model, and then looking at that, are we being cited more? Or are we being cited less? Another thing, um, I, if you know anything about me, you know that I'm a huge fan of data that cannot be skewed, and that's Google Analytics.
Okay.
So I don't have enough money, power, and influence to tell Google Analytics to change the data to make it look better on a customer's website, right? I don't think anybody does. Well, I'm sure there are some people, but it's not me. So they're starting to pull in clicks from Grok, clicks from Perplexity, clicks from Gemini, clicks from ChatGPT in the traffic acquisition tab. So that will, even though we mentioned that there's a lot of zero-click searches and people aren't clicking, some people are still clicking. So you can look at, hey, I've been working with this company. I'm getting more clicks in ChatGPT than I've ever done before.
Yeah.
And so even if you don't, when you look at their reports, because there's so many different types of reporting, the one that we use is great. Is it the best? There may be better ones. Is it? I have to trust the creators of the tool for the accuracy.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about when I look in Google Analytics if that data is valid, right? If that is true coming from Google. So you can always look at Google Analytics, and albeit the number will be smaller, seeing if you're getting more interactions from those engines.
I think that's important. I know in my world, especially in information technology, cybersecurity, we always use these two words: trust but verify.
Yeah. Right.
Trust but verify. So if you can get verifiable statistics and analytics, you just pointed that out. Google Analytics doesn't lie; it doesn't need to.
No.
So it's not competing from a agency standpoint. My question for a Green Banana is that how did you position yourself to become the SEO agency AI platform that now becomes actually recommended in these engines?
Um, our clients kept asking us for it. And so we have a lot, we were really fortunate to have a lot of great clients that we collaborate with. We kind of work with our clients as partners. So we like to think of ourselves as an extension of the team, and they're sharing as much data with us as we're sharing with them. And all of our more aggressive clients have been saying, we need this, we need this, we need this. So it's something that I had to really, as the resident SEO geek at Green Banana, I had to, deep dive and figure out how we can start appearing in all of these answer engines. And what was fortuitous is a lot of the stuff that we were doing already was what were the things that I was reading as recommendations.
This is important. I want to ask you this because now we're kind of morphing now into agentic AI. You have agents. There's a lot of automation, orchestration taking place. So you may not be the human HI intelligence actually looking things up anymore. Have you
Right.
optimized for that?
So we're optimizing for all of the engines that are using the agents. The thing about an agent, one thing that's going to be exceptionally difficult to track as it moves on is if you have an agent on your machine and I have an agent on my machine, it is very personalized. It is
Yeah.
reading all my emails if I wanted to. It is looking at my calendar. It is looking at my social media channels. It is getting, and that's something you could go on for weeks talking about how frightening that is. But so it's giving you personalized information. So a search on your computer and a search on mine are going to be different with the output. But we're still going to know what gets mentioned the most. Like one of the things that Gemini has done, Google's product, is that there is training that when they show their reporting, they show training data and grounded data. The training data is all the information that the answer engines already have. They've already compiled about you. The grounded data is they're actually using Google to go do research. So they're continually pulling information from Google to increase the training model that they have to get more information for that. So that's really important that I think if you continue to focus on high quality SEO, high quality content, high quality links, not link farm junk, you're going to do really well in these things.
Good advice for people trying to understand, get a handle on this change that's happening because the machine-to-machine language is just becoming dominant. The conversations, the types of things that you need to do to get the visibility that you're looking for and the conversion that you're looking for. Now you have worked across industries from biotech to retail. My question is, what lessons about brand growth and then customer connection have proven universal throughout your experience?
One phrase: people buy from people.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's that human connection. That's why social media is so important. That's why a lot of people are getting great information from Reddit and Substack and Quora. People buy
Mhm.
from people.
See, we got to double down on that. I want people to understand. Not like I said, I've been in information technology for probably 30 years, and I worked for companies like Avaya that were big into customer service engines, the CE world when it came to platforms. Yeah, I remember the first voicemails were even coming out and that type of thing. Automation is good to a certain degree, but we always knew that the purpose of the technology is to enable a human to human connection as quickly as possible.
Hmm.
You don't want to substitute, or keep the human always talking to it in AI, so to speak. AI, you could define that. It's been around for a long time. Anytime you interact it with any kind of
That's true. I think,
natural
yeah,
language
that's important.
processing, boom.
Yeah.
But it also proved to be it can have negative impact as well because there's dissonant, there's social dissonance there. People still like talking to people. So when we go into this AI and agentic AI world, and people are like, oh, that's great, yeah, but you can also distance yourself from your client, and then you're not really interacting with them. You're interacting with the machine. As far as I know,
Right.
machines don't have money, but I guess maybe digital currency, maybe they do. Maybe they start buying things on your behalf. But I think
Right.
there might be a little bit of oversight on that. Tell
I
us
think
some
it's,
more about what you think about that HI to HI interaction, and you is just enabling that interaction.
I, so I think, so when you're writing content, you want to have authorship of that. So I don't, there's something that a principle that Google was really pushing years ago, and it's still really prevalent. It's called EAT. It's the, um, expertise, experience, authority, and trust.
Mhm.
And so I think actually it's probably a brilliant way for them to try to mitigate some of the AI generated content by having people take authorship or ownership of that content.
Mhm.
So it was really big in finance and health when it first started coming out. So they weren't even ranking sites that didn't say, hey, here's the doctor that published this and here's the school that she went to. Right.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
looking for things like that. So when you're writing content, you become an author. And a good super secret hack to this is you put your author page on your bio and LinkedIn. So Google is going to say, hey, we trust LinkedIn. It's a really big, high authority publication. It mentions your author page and it links back to the author page on your site.
Yeah.
So you're giving yourself a high quality direct link to that. And it's you're giving your authorship a little bit more credibility.
Hmm. I think that's so important. It's me as a personal brand strategist. I've been known as a personal brand guru. Like I think I got ranked so far in the top 30 on Global Gurus just here in 2025, which I like. And I've been preaching this for a while, especially my knowledge and understanding how machines actually work, is that you've got to give it the right data. You have to give it the right data from a personal brand perspective. You create the digital footprint so that when Google, let's say you Google Grant McGaw, I know exactly the information that's going to come up. And I'm starting to notice even now as I go into the different, and I like how you say answer engines, because I think it sounds better than LLM. Answer engine sounds kind of cool. I'm going to coin that one.
It's
Uh,
easier to say,
yeah, I like it.
right?
Answer engine. It sounds better
Yeah,
to me than LLM because you got to further define it.
right, right.
But if someone goes to ChatGPT or Claude or whatnot, and they put in Grant McGaw, I want to see what's coming up, right?
Hmm.
They're not going to be exactly the same, but it's very similar.
Right.
as far as the information, because it's pulling information directly from what I've given it, whether I've given it from LinkedIn, whether I've given it from
Yeah.
my website, press releases, things like that, because I know in the background it's going to pull, and it's going to pull from credible sources, and that's going to bring you forward. Am I correct in that
Yeah.
assumption?
Yeah. And I think that's a really important thing to highlight. You're controlling the narrative of your story.
Yes.
Very, 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 very smart and important, or someone else is going to do it for you. And you don't want that.
Right, and you get negative press, right, and negative
Or
information,
negative press or no press, right?
or no
Or
press,
not or nothing.
or nothing at all,
Right.
right?
Right.
Right. So here's the question, last question, maybe. I can't guarantee that, but but outside of business, you're deeply engaged in your community and mentoring. I want to understand, what does that leadership philosophy, how does it show up in the way that you run your company?
I think it gives me a different perspective. So I'm the president of the board of my local YMCA.
Mhm.
Um, uh, I one of the things that the YMCA does that means a lot to me, which is why I want to be involved, is the amount of things they give back to people. There are so many people in the community that I live in that um, can't work because they can't afford daycare, that they don't have a place to live, they can't afford a gym membership, and the Y is donating all that stuff and helping people so that they can become better. Um, and so one of the reasons that I joined is when they had first asked me, my first thought is, I'm too busy. I have a lot of stuff to do at work. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'm just pushing ones and zeros on a computer and I'm helping my clients make more money. That's not helping the world. So how can I give a little back? And I think that has helped me identify a lot more with people, identify a lot more with my employees. Um, there's a I don't know. Part of it, I just feel good it feels good to help people.
Absolute social impact. I'm on the in the circle of making money for money's sake. It's good, but it has no value. It's like being on a deserted island, and if you have a bunch of money, what good is it? So what are
Right.
you doing to circulate the things that you're doing, and bringing back the good work that's there? The money, again, it should not be the end of the road. It's part of the road. It's part of the journey,
Right. Right.
but that's not cyclical in a way. So how do you taking that goodwill, and then regenerizing the social community, because that same community is accessing networks, they're
Yeah.
accessing websites, they're going to
Yeah.
Google, but if you're not enabling them in a certain way to be able to do that, then what are you doing? So
Right.
I
Right.
like how you position that. Now here's my last question, and I like asking this question because I like to ask them of my guests in real time. This is your first experience with the Follow Brand podcast. Now you've gone through the interview process with me as the host. How did you like this interview?
The quality of the questions that you asked were fantastic. So this for me was a really stimulating conversation. I enjoyed it, and I learned a little bit more after speaking with you. So I think like those are like the it was fun, it was informative, it was challenging. Those are three perfect pieces to a
Absolutely. And
podcast,
I
in my
learned
opinion.
a
Yeah.
great deal. I think the audience learned a great deal about something, again, that's very pressing. It's just top of mind right now, because things are just changing rapidly. So I like to see what's happening. Like, open up the hood. Let's look at the engine down there, our answer engine, right? Our,
Yeah.
our social engineering optimization. These are all these engines that are going on. But I really appreciate you taking the time
Yeah,
to
I'm
do
happy to
this.
do that.
Okay.
That,
And you
that
got to let us know how to contact you at Green Banana. And what is the best possible way?
So you can go to greenbananaseo.com, or you can't ask this to an answer engine because it's going to answer differently. But I kept losing my business cards years ago or forgetting them. So I ended up optimizing I just met Kevin. So if you Google I just met Kevin, you can get to my contact information. If you ask ChatGPT GTP, I just met Kevin, they're going to say big deal. Who's Kevin, right? Right? So I just met Kevin, or you can go to greenbananaseo.com. And if I could say one more thing, I think
Yeah.
that will be helpful. When I first learned about AI, I was nervous about it. I was scared. I'm like, this is gonna, this could be taking over my business. And the more that I study it and the more that I learn about it, the more I realize it is an amazing opportunity for growth, no matter what business you're in. So if you're listening to this and you're nervous, don't be nervous and learn more about it, because it will help you in some way or another, and it's not going away.
Absolutely. I encourage everyone. I just had this discussion with another group of people, and I put it in this way. Just like you need to understand, let's say, the Microsoft suite of software packages, whether it's email, PowerPoint, Excel, Word. You need to know these things. You need to know these things in today's business environment. You need to know AI. And AI is a lot of different things. It's not just an answer engine, that's LLM launch. That's a part of it. That's what people kind of used to know, but it's a lot more than that. There's a lot of automation that's taking place, content generation, whether it's video, audio, text. This is how business is getting done. This is speed to market. You cannot sleep on these things. I implore everyone to get involved with any kind of AI workshop that's going to upskill you on these platforms so that you become proficient at it.
Yeah, or just download Gemini or ChatGPT and start doing stupid things with it. You're going to learn. You're going to say, "Oh, I didn't know it could do this." Or if it gets the answer wrong, or you don't get the output you want, who cares? Just have fun with it, and you're going to start learning stuff.
And you'll mold it to
start
yourself.
pushing
You talked
limits.
about customization and personalization earlier.
Right.
Then you start to realize you have a real assistant that's built just for you
Yeah.
that can help you along life's way. So that is great.
Agreed.
I want to make sure that all of your particular audience can tune in to all the episodes of Follow the Brand. They can do so at 5-star BDM. That's the number 5. That's star STR. B for brand, D for development, M for masters.com. This has been one.
Man, who's your favorite podcaster? Man, Grant, man. I love Grant's podcast. Well, who's Grant? I'm going to send you the link. I love Grant.
I love the interview. I've done a lot of these, and this is a great one. It's always great to talk to people who know what they're doing, and it's clear you're a great host, and you've done this many times before.
I feel great that we're having this conversation here. Met a new person in business who I previously didn't know.
It was an amazing podcast. Grant is an amazing interviewer. I learned a lot.
Really enjoyed this. Great questions, great talk track. Super appreciate you having me on. It's been a very fun episode to talk about a lot of things that I don't always get to dive into. So this has been a fantastic conversation.
I wouldn't be where I am here today, of course, not on this stage. However, not in my current business projection and my current business model without working with you.
The difference between influence and legacy, it's the platform that carries your voice. You're not visible because you lack talent. You're visible because your brand doesn't speak. I've built 5-star BDM to change that. Most leaders have the expertise, but not the presence, the vision, but not the vehicle. Across 3 cities, one brand is helping leaders rise above the noise. Here in the heart of Omaha, strategy isn't left to chance. It's engineered with precision. In Omaha, we engineered your executive brand, AI-powered, data-driven, precise. TISA went from a local nonprofit to a national speaker in 90 days. We don't guess your brand strategy, we build it. On the shores of St. Croix, your brand takes on depth and meaning, shaped through curated retreats and legacy experiences. In St. Croix, strategy becomes soul. Our retreats don't just refine your message, they rediscover your mission. One founder rewrote his entire company story here. Funding followed 30 days later. This is where leaders remember who they were meant to be. In vibrant Miami, momentum meets amplification, transforming your voice into a movement. In Miami, your brand becomes a movement. Business development accelerators. Audience building. Joy came with an old website and an outdated company name, but she left with 5,000 followers and a waiting list. This is where you scale with soul. 3 cities, 1 mission. Your legacy ignited. It started with a thread. Let's pull it together. Stop blending and start leading. 5-Star BDM, where legacy is engineered, embodied, and ignited. Visit 5starbdm.com and book your brand audit today.
Welcome to Follow the Brand, where we turn leaders into legends. I'm Grant McGaw, CEO of 5-Star BDM. Today, we're not just talking about executive presence, we're going to transform yours. Executive presence isn't about power, it's about trust. And here's the good news. You can build it at any level. Let's dive into how you can command any room you enter. Dr. Kimberly Long, CEO of California Nurse Leaders, shared a profound insight. The moment you try to prove your power is the moment you lose it. Executive presence is about building trust and authority without force. It's about creating an environment where people lean in to listen. You can achieve this by being authentic and consistent in your communication and actions. Consider Dr. Long during a hospital merger. She lowered her voice instead of raising it, and the room leaned in. Similarly, Sarah Chen, a project manager, used this technique in meetings. Within 3 months, her team began to emulate her style. Denzel Ross, now president of IU Health South Central, built his presence by identifying communication gaps and lifting others up. These examples show how presence spreads through subtle yet powerful actions. Your action step. In your next 3 meetings, try speaking 10% slower and 20% quieter. Watch what happens. For team leads, start delegating key responsibilities. Managers should use meetings as learning labs. Directors build cross-functional bridges. The key shift? Stop being the answer person. Start being the question person. This approach fosters growth and empowers others. Patrick Green, CEO of UF Health Jacksonville, uses a communication matrix to simplify complex ideas. His 3-step formula: start with impact, follow with insight, end with action. For example, instead of saying, "We need to upgrade our systems," he says, "We can save 50 lives this year by investing in this technology. Here's how." This clarity builds influence and trust. 3 common mistakes: reactivity, over-explaining, and imposter syndrome. When challenged, take a slow sip of water to respond thoughtfully. Instead of defending every detail, offer a headline first. Dr. Long still gets nervous before board meetings but prepares thoroughly. Remember, nervousness is energy. Executive presence isn't a destination, it's a practice. Start where you are, use what you have, and build from there.
When you deliver on your promise and you have the result you were looking for, and everybody in the room is like, wow, this is what we're talking about.
In today's fast-paced financial landscape, access to capital is the key to success. At the heart of this revolution is Case Capital Markets, powered by SETI Case. Here, innovation and investment converge, creating a dynamic environment where businesses can thrive and reach new heights. Introducing Grant McGaw, the Senior Advisor at Case Capital Markets. Grant is a visionary leader, dedicated to connecting businesses with institutional capital and strategic funding. His expertise opens doors to game-changing investment opportunities, making him an invaluable partner for companies looking to scale and succeed in the competitive world of finance. With an impressive 25 years in technology, 9 years in healthcare, and 6 years in investment banking, Grant McGaw has a proven track record. He has successfully closed over $500 million in high-value transactions, seamlessly bridging technology, healthcare, and infrastructure with innovative financial solutions. His experience is a testament to his ability to drive success. Case Capital Markets offers businesses direct access to over 32,000 venture capital firms, private equity funds, family offices, and institutional investors. This network empowers mid-market companies with under $100 million in revenue to scale beyond their limits, unlocking unprecedented growth potential. Debt, equity, growth capital, public offerings. These are the building blocks of the future of capital access. Whether you're scaling a business, seeking investment, or exploring market expansion, Grant McGaw is your trusted partner. Together, you can unlock capital and create long-term financial success. The future belongs to those who take action. Are you ready to elevate your business?
The 5-star BDM LinkedIn social selling course can help you stand out and attract the right connections and opportunities. We will help you professionally create your profile, provide personalized recommendations for improvement, and help you create and share engaging content to help you showcase your skills and expertise. Our 5-step course makes connecting with industry experts, finding job opportunities, and building meaningful relationships easy. Social selling can be an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Our course will help you solve the problems associated with digital networking. If you need help personalizing your outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. If you need help targeting the right prospects, this course is for you. With so much noise on social media, it can be challenging to cut through the clutter and get your message in front of the right people. Our course will personalize your messaging using our targeting tools and research. You can identify and reach the right prospects. We will also show how to deliver high quality, valuable content that attracts and engages prospects and clients. The 5-star BDM LinkedIn social selling course will address these challenges by implementing best practices. As a result, you can improve your social selling efforts and generate better results. Are you looking to improve your LinkedIn profile and reach a wider audience? Social selling is an effective way for you to generate leads and close deals, but it does have its challenges. Some common problems we saw with social selling include lack of visibility. If your profile is not optimized or you're not actively participating in groups or sharing content, it can be difficult to get noticed on LinkedIn. Number 2, lack of personalization. Some businesses struggle with personalizing their outreach and messaging, which can lead to low response rates and a lack of engagement. Also, difficulty targeting the right prospects. It can be difficult to identify and target the right prospects on social media, especially if you don't have access to robust targeting tools. And number 4, outdated content. If your LinkedIn profile or content is not up to date, it can give the impression that you're not actively engaged on the platform or that your skills and experience are not current. And lastly, poor quality content and not leveraging video and picture to convey ideas. To solve these problems, the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling Video course will help you focus on personalizing your outreach and messaging to better connect with prospects. In module number 1, the foundation, we will help you create high quality, valuable profile that will attract and engage. In module 2, the story, optimizing your LinkedIn profile to make sure it is complete, accurate, and visually appealing. In module number 3, the experience, using your targeting tools and research to identify and reach out to the right prospects. In module number 4, engagement, establishing a consistent follow-up process to nurture leads and build relationships over time. And lastly, in number 5, execution. Understand the metrics to help you measure your brand effectiveness. By addressing these challenges and implementing best practices, you will improve your social selling with the 5-star BDM LinkedIn Optimization Social Selling course. Listen to what others have said about 5-star BDM.
Grant, I'll tell you why I'm here, right? I'm here because I love your brand. When we started chatting on LinkedIn, we connected. I checked you out and I go, man, this guy knows what he's talking about.
You were definitely instrumental in helping to shape that knowledge of who I am. Because at first I thought, well, I am an actress. I am a writer. I am a producer. I am a speaker. And so I said, well, I must be a creative communicator. I know that there is a narrative thread here, but you nailed it when you said you are a storyteller. So you brought it all together in this cohesive title.
Sign up today to improve your social selling opportunities.
In today's world, where every voice competes for attention, true influence stands out. One visionary has redefined the landscape of brand building. His name is Grant McGaw, and his innovative approach is setting new standards in the industry. Recognized among the top 30 global gurus in branding for 2025, Grant McGaw is a name synonymous with transformative brand leadership. His work is not just about creating brands, it's about crafting legacies. Through his visionary strategies, he is helping leaders across the globe redefine their impact and influence. At the heart of Grant's success is the revolutionary BRAVE framework. BRAVE stands for branding, resilience, authenticity, vision, and excellence. Each element is meticulously crafted to guide leaders in building brands that are not only successful, but also meaningful. Branding sets the foundation, resilience ensures longevity, authenticity builds trust, vision drives innovation, and excellence guarantees quality. This framework is where data meets storytelling and strategy meets authenticity. From healthcare to technology, Grant's methodology is reshaping how industries approach branding. His strategies are not confined to a single sector. They are universal, adaptable, and effective. By integrating the BRAVE framework, organizations are experiencing a transformation in how they connect with their audiences, ensuring their message resonates and endures. Grant McGaw's influence extends beyond frameworks. Through his best-selling books and the acclaimed Follow the Brand podcast, he shares insights and strategies that empower leaders to elevate their brand presence. These resources are a testament to his commitment to shaping the future of branding. Grant McGaw is not just influencing the present, he is shaping the future of brand influence. His work is a beacon for those seeking to lead with purpose and impact. By embracing his methodologies, leaders are equipped to navigate the complexities of modern branding with confidence and clarity. Discover the BRAVE approach to brand leadership and unlock the potential of your brand. At 5-star BDM, where vision meets results, Grant McGaw invites you to embark on a journey of transformation. Experience the power of strategic branding and redefine your impact in the world.
Hey everyone, it's Grant McGaw, CEO of 5-Star BDM and host of the award-winning Follow the Brand podcast and TV series, where I help you to build a 5-star brand that people will follow. My genius is personal brand development through intelligent communication and helping you achieve your business and career goals. I am a requested speaker on digital technology and brand development issues. I want to work with you to increase the value of your current opportunities while attracting new ones. Every one of you is unique, and we all share challenges that can be addressed through smart branding. As a super connector, I work with you as an executive coach to guide you along the complicated business and career development road, providing the enhancement tools and information you need to succeed. Together, I will help you succeed in today's challenging business climate. I will evaluate and measure your progress. Best of all, I am right alongside you every step of the way. Build the brand called you. Genius is coming. Tune in for our next show or click on our website at www.firestarbdm/followthebrandtv. Thank you. Wonderful, Kevin. I want to thank you so much and enjoy
Thank you.
the
Thank you.
rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much.